Hey guys, it's Alexis. This video I'm gonna do something a little different. Number one, you'll notice it's kind of you hear a fan. That's because I have the AC going, and so I apologize for that. But I have the garage door closed because it's mosquito 30 down here in Florida. So if I leave the garage door open, I get bit. Then I'm sweating. This is not really a good look, and not worth it. So you're gonna have to deal with the fan, the AC unit. So this video I'm doing something a little different. I'm gonna build a fire department Firefighter Glove Strap. It goes along with this minimalist wallet that I made in my last video. It's one order. That's why I'm wearing the same uniform or same outfits, because I'm recording the same day. I might put this video out a week later or something, but taking advantage because I got to ship it out tomorrow. So in this video I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna comment and have some commentary as I build. I'm gonna see if I can do this in real time. All right, so let's begin. Oh wow, that intro was a little dark, but I don't care. The other thing too is, don't worry guys, I'm growing my mustache back. So after this whole COVID thing passes, I'm going to start growing the mustache back. So probably the next 2 months I'll have the stash for summertime. Anyway, all right, so I have my 2 strips. I already cut them out, and I'm gonna get my handy dandy secret blueprints just to make sure that my numbers are correct. Let me get this lens out of the way. This is what I use. This is the lens I use to film all my ASMR videos. It's the 56mm 1.2. Really expensive lens. I love it. I shouldn't be putting it here on a table, but I'll just be careful. All right, so let me get my glove strap numbers here. Let me get it out of the frame so you can't see, you little cheaters. All right, so we need an 8-inch piece and a 12-inch piece. All right, so these 2 pieces would be perfect. But first things first, this is a little thick, so I'm gonna go ahead and skive it down with my handy dandy skiver I got from Weaver Leather. All right, let's skive it down. All right, so you guys are right by the window shaker, so it might be a little loud. So I'm gonna go ahead and skive this before I mark anything. One thing to note about this skiver is that it does have a stop on here, this little stop. But you'll notice that if you're skiving and you're pushing down against the stop, it'll slide on you. That's why I have this little junk piece. Because basically, essentially, this piece is how thick I want my leather. So I leave it there, put my stop on there, and I actually leave it in place because that acts as another stop. I don't know if that makes any sense. Oh, that is not, I need a little thinner than that. Stupid. There you go. Just needed to push down a little bit. All right. And this is a Wickett Craig medium brown, which looks really, really good. All right. I'm trying to do this in real time. So the only time I'm just stopping to move the camera. So let's move the camera. Hey guys, let me know if you like these kind of videos with the commentary. But I do this a lot on my Instagram, on my stories. I'll start talking to myself, but we'll give it a shot here on YouTube. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark my holes. This strap is 3/4 inches wide, so I'm gonna mark my wing divider, half of that, 3/8, so that I can find the middle of this strap. And I'm gonna mark my holes, and they're on the secret panel right here. Can you see that? Did I just give you my secret panel? Oh, you can't read that, can you? Well, it doesn't matter really. All right, so we're just gonna mark this. I'm gonna do this in real time and probably fast forward and post. All right, now we're gonna cut them out. Now here I'm gonna cut them out, punch out the ends and actually the holes at the same time. I'll fast forward to this. All right, now we're gonna bevel and burnish. I use the number 1 from Weaver Leather, and we'll give it a quick sharpen. Scrap piece of leather and some jeweler's rouge on the edge, and go against the blade. Give it a quick little sharpen. All right, here we go. All right. handy dandy burnisher, handy dandy water. And what I like to do is hit it with water and a little glycerin soap. I went over that in one of my videos, basic tools for strap goods. So check out that video. And the burnish, whatchamacallit, the glycerin helps with the burnishing. I learned that from Don Gonzalez. You guys gotta check him out. He showed me that trick. And that's why I love YouTube, man. I learned everything on YouTube, bro. Absolutely everything. Plus tons of trial and error, by the way. Now I used to make these with the stock 10 to 12 ounce, which was really too thick, sometimes not, 10 ounce. But that was just too thick to get through that buckle, and I'll show you here in a second. So that's why I skive it down. But there's an issue when you skive it. When you skive it, you lose the pasted, refinished part. So we're gonna go ahead and do that here in-house. And I'll show you what I do with that and how I do that. So you notice I'm doing just a light burnish. It's getting it though. That glycerin really does help. Just to knock it down. And I'll show you here why. Now for these round edges, I actually use my burnisher because it's easier to get around those corners with this machine. I'll show you. All right, so I use this machine for the turn here, the corners. It's a lot easier than trying to do that with that little tool. I mean, you could do it, but why if I have this tool here? And a lot of people ask me, why don't I use this a lot more than the hand burnisher? And to be honest with you, I feel like I have more control with the hand burnisher as far as the pressure. I feel like I get a better burnish with it. And this doesn't really save that much time. Maybe I'm not using it right, maybe I'm not putting enough pressure, I don't know. But I found better results with it by hand. All right, so the other thing you notice is that edge there. Can you see that? Yeah, that edge right there is, I don't like that natural color, so we're gonna dye the edges a little bit. And I don't go really heavy as far as the dye. I just touch it one time just to darken it a little bit. I'll show you. Yeah, see the difference? That's just, that's the same color leather, but see the edges are just a little darker than that. And that's just one pass. So I have this little jar, and this is Fiebing's Pro Oil Dye. This is dark brown. I don't use black. Black has a tendency to be a little runny. I don't know what it is about their mix there with the black, but I found that dark brown is good enough. And this is also something else I learned from Don Gonzalez, is that he uses dark brown as his black. And I don't know what it is, but you just make one little pass. If you guys want to know how I do this and the materials I use, watch that video. The tools needed for strap goods. I have a lot more information on all this stuff, where you can get it. And yeah, this is real easy. It takes 3 minutes. I never used to do this because I used to think it took too long, but then I realized it doesn't really take that long and you get a better finish. It looks clean and more looks like a polished product at the end. And yeah, you let that sit, that's done. Now what I'm gonna do is, now I'm gonna burnish it again once that dye dries, about 5 minutes. I'm gonna burnish it again with just water and get a real good burnish with this. In fact, this one doesn't touch colored edges. I use a different burnisher for the dyed edges. I don't know why. I don't want to get that one dirty. Is that weird? I don't know. So I'll use this one. All right, so now we're going to, that's dry to the touch. It's not coming off on the finger. That's another reason why I don't use the black, because the black also takes a longer time to dry. And when you burnish this edge right here, it'll come out really, really clean. Now this is where I give it a good burnish. That good though, boy. So let's go ahead and burnish this really good. It'll even out that color a little bit. All right. You can always hit it again with the color, with the dye if you wanted to. You can really get that almost black looking if you really wanted to. But this is a glove strap, so it'll look really sharp, just like this. And then after we do this, we have 2 more steps before we assemble it. So we're like maybe 10 minutes out. And this is filmed in real time, so I can get this done in about 20 minutes. It's actually faster if you have 5 or 6 that you have to do. It's just, that's the way it works out. But either way, if I have 1 or 10, it's still fun to come in here and tinker. You know, every man needs a garage to tinker, man. All right, so that looks nice and burnished, really smooth. I'll show you what I do next. So this is something I've been toying with. I haven't seen anybody do this, but it's basically on the edges I put an acrylic resin, because a lot of times I'll use the beeswax and burnish it, and the beeswax holds for a while, but given the work we do, firefighters, water still seeps in the edges and it kind of frays after a while. I know that's par for the course, but I wanted to add an extra protection, and I don't use beeswax. I use acrylic resin to finish my edges. It gives it a shine, like you saw in that wallet, and it takes 2 seconds to do. This is just a jar of acrylic resin. That's gonna protect that edge. Basically puts a plastic film on the edge there. I mean, you could put beeswax and call it done, but look how fast this takes. I'm gonna let this dry for a second while I get everything else ready. That's it. Now we're gonna go to assembly. Actually, I think he wanted some initials, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Just put some initials on this bad boy. All right, so he wants initials on here. He wants the initial CH. So I'll get my little stamping tool, and I'm gonna find the piece that goes to the buckle, this part. That's where I'm gonna put the CH. So I want the thicker part, the meatier part, the part that's gonna be the tail end, that's gonna do the most of the work, to be the strong part. The buckle's gonna be the weaker part. You know, I think about this. So this is gonna be the buckle end. And that's also gonna be an indicator of where I need to put the buckle as well. Let me confirm, CH. Yep. And then all we have to do now is assemble this bad boy and call it done. All right. All right, I like to put my anvil right where the X is at. The X is where there's a leg and a cross beam. It's a really strong support part there. That's where it's gonna really be sturdy. And we're gonna assemble this bad boy. I like to hit this with a little WD-40 because it's really tight. I'm doing that over here, so don't judge me. I probably don't need to do that, but whatever. All right, this takes some wizardry on how I do this. Sometimes I forget, to be honest with you. Okay, so here is, it does take some wizardry. I like to be consistent. I want all the rivets to be in one direction on all of my products. So it has to be consistent. And take a number 9 brass rivet. I like the brass rivets. I feel like they're a little sturdier. And we have to weave this bad boy through here. These rivets, I learned that you have to go hard and fast the very first one. You don't want the bottom to be sliding out on you. So you got to go hard the first hit. Oh, I forgot one more part. We got to address that the backing there. Let's do that real quick. All right, so this backing's a little rough. What I do is I take some of my secret sauce and we're gonna refinish the back. Put a little bit of the paste. This works with oil as well, I mean water. If you just want to, you're just burnishing the back, the fibers. You can do this with some water and that's fine, but I have this glass burnisher and we're just burnishing the back. All right. That's it. Now we can finish it up. Let's finish it up. One thing I do is, if you notice, I can call it a day right here and be done. But what I like to do is weave it through here and put another rivet. Why? In the event that you undo this all the way, you won't lose your piece. Because right now you can lose it. You can detach this and lose this piece. So if I do this and put a rivet here, it won't come out, it won't come through that that spring snap. So this will prevent it from pulling through and losing your piece. If you want to know where I got all these tools, make sure you watch that video. It's garbage, bro. There she is. Thanks for watching, y'all. Let me know if you guys like this type of video. Bye.